Hey, what's going on, everybody? ScottDogGaming here. Thank you very much for joining us. I just thought I'd do a very quick video, I guess, on where we are with the channel. I started out this Patreon page a little while back saying that I was going to do weekly blogs, and then realised I don't really like typing very much, so those weekly blogs dried up. But the point of them was to, I guess, give a bit more insight into the channel, into me, and into my gaming history than the videos do on YouTube, and that's kind of what I'm doing here now. I thought I'd make these rather than type it all out. If you enjoy them, then great. If not, then let me know and we'll go back to blogs or something along those lines. But very quickly, it's going to be a quick video. I'm trying to keep it under 10 minutes, so wish me luck because I like to talk. First things first, the channel. We're on 865 subs. The goal at the start of the year was to get to 1,000 subs. Is it achievable? Half a year to go. I feel like it's achievable. The numbers seem to make it achievable, but we need to keep growing. There was a month where barely got any subscribers, and then over the last month it seems to have peaked a little bit, which is fantastic news. I guess a little quick plea from me for you guys. If you made it to this video, thank you very much. The plan with these videos is to put them on Patreon on the 20th-ish of each month. It's the 22nd today of June. The plan is to put them on Patreon around that, and then upload them to YouTube or make them live on YouTube a month later. So if you're watching on YouTube now, hello, you're a month behind. Go and check out the Patreon channel, and you can see this month's video around now. So that's the plan. That's the point, is to put those videos on here. So if you want to be kept up to date with the channel, if you want to help mold the channel, I guess, going forward, this is the place to do it, because this is where I'll be asking the questions of you guys as to what you want to see. So quickly moving on to what you want to see and what you're seeing at the moment. At the moment, I've got a few main series that I'm trying to keep up to date with. So there's RimWorld, a game I love. If you haven't checked it out, please go and check out those videos, because there's lots of them coming, because I just love the game. Prison Architect, that's in the same boat. I've recorded quite a lot of it already, going to be recording more. Fantastic game, love it. Football Manager obviously has been going on. We've done 100 episodes now of Sparta Rotterdam. If you don't normally watch football videos, go and have a little look at the first one. So the first one sort of sets the scene, and that's about sets the scene, and that's about Sparta Rotterdam, how they used to be a big team in Dutch football, and then kind of fell by the wayside by the other big teams in Dutch football, and we're trying to get them back to the top. That's been going on for 100 episodes. Go and check it out if you like the idea of building something. Then it's maybe on a different theme, but it's the same principle. So go and check those out. The other series on the channel are Battle Brothers. Love that game. It's an indie game, and you'll notice that most of these are indie games that I've mentioned so far, apart from Football Manager. And it's an intriguing one about building a band of mercenaries and making money and surviving in the harsh wilderness, essentially. So go and check that out. That comes out every Sunday. And the last one is Uncharted. I'm planning on doing a playthrough of Uncharted 1 to 4. We are starting with 1. I'm about 80% of the way through the first one. I record in batches, so I've recorded up to a point, and then I'll go back when those videos approach the end of the showings and record another batch. So that's where we are with those. That's kind of the games that I'm recording at the moment. Now comes the bit where you guys can help me make a decision. If there's any games you want to see, then please leave a comment, let me know. If there are there's a couple of games that I've bought and I haven't played, and I just wondered if you can give me some feedback on what you think, really. So Hearts of Iron 4, love the look of it, watched quite a lot of videos of it, haven't played any of it yet. I want to know if you want to A, see me play it as a complete noob and fail miserably, B, I go away and learn how to play the game, then come back and play it as a slightly less noob and fail miserably, or C, don't play it at all because you don't want to see it. They're the three options. Let me know what you think on that. And the same exact questions go out for Total War Warhammer. Let me know what you think on that, because exactly the same question is there. I haven't played any of it. I've had pretty much all of the games over the years, just never really played any of them. If you want to see them, then please let me know. Again, noob, slightly less noob, don't play it. They're the options. And then any other games that you guys see, like the look of, then let me know. What I tend to do is keep an eye on Steam every day. If something comes up that I like the look of, I tend to go ahead and get it and play it. So there's little other mini series, I guess, coming out. Things like Space Run Galaxy. that sort of stuff is coming out on the channel. I've recorded a bit more of City Skylines because I enjoy that. So they're the games that you can expect to see, but if you want to see anything in particular, then please let me know. The other thing I'm planning on doing with the channel is looking for some collabs. I enjoy doing the ones I've got with the English Gamer. Go and check out his channel if you haven't already. But we've got sort of this Versus series that's ongoing. But the plan is to do a few more of those and maybe make, with other gamers, maybe make longer series of actual games. So I'd like to do some Gmod, that sort of stuff as well. So hopefully there'll be some of that stuff coming out. If you want to collab with me or game with me, then my links are in the description. Check them out. So that's kind of where we are with the channel. Let's very quickly touch on me. I guess the things that are going on in my life, first off, working full time means that I can only really record at weekends or evenings, and one of the things that is happening in the evenings at this moment in time is the Euros are on, so I'm kind of getting home watching football, and by the time football's finished it's too late to record. So the number of videos I'm recording at the moment is slowed down. However, I'm still trying to do my best to bring out at least one video every single day, and we've got plenty in the bank with RimWorld and all the rest of that for that to happen. So that's good news. The other things that are going on in my life is that I have been chosen as best man for my friend's wedding, which happens in August. So I've been planning a stag do. We're going to Dusseldorf. That's a real place, by the way. It's not Harry Potter. It's in Germany. I've been to Germany before. I went to Munich to Oktoberfest and loved it. Why do we choose Dusseldorf? There's two reasons. The first one is that they have an annual cartwheel competition, which we tried to sign the groom up for. Unfortunately, at 38, I think he is. He's just out of the age bracket. I think it's something like 7 to 11 year olds, and we missed it. But the plan is to still make him go to the cartwheel statue and perform at least one cartwheel. So hopefully next video I'll be able to bring you a video of that. The other reasons is that the Germans refer to, some of the Germans, I'm sure not all of them, some of the Germans refer to Dusseldorf as the world's longest bar, because there's something like 350, 400 pubs, bars, breweries in one street. I think it's called Old Town, and there's just hundreds of pubs, restaurants, bars, clubs, that sort of stuff. So it's kind of get there. There's not a lot to do other than get drunk. So hopefully I come back, or maybe not, as the case may be. So that's happening at the end of this month, and then after that I've got to start working on a speech. So if you start hearing really, really, really bad jokes and rubbish stories from me, you'll know that I'm just trying out material. I always thought I was quite funny, and I guess this is the deciding factor of that, which worries me a little bit. But we'll find out. I guess one way or the other we'll find out if I'm funny or not. So they're the things that are happening in my life. The bigger picture at this moment in time, I guess, in the world is the Euros is ongoing, which I'm loving, even if England are a bit rubbish. Well done to Ireland. They went through this evening, so congratulations to them, and Wales. England got through. I think that was the minimum that people were expecting, which is good. Didn't look very good for any of it. However, they've got Iceland instead of Portugal, which is big. However, I think Portugal looked pretty poor actually this year. Essentially, you're saying we've got rid of the Ronaldo element, but I don't think, from what I saw, Iceland looked any worse than Portugal. So good luck to Iceland. Good luck to England. I think it's going to be a real tough game, and I think Iceland might well nick it 1-0, if I'm really honest. The other thing that's happening is the whole in or out of Europe vote. I haven't registered to vote. I'm not planning on voting, especially since I haven't registered. Actually, I've never voted in my life. Without getting into too much of politics, I think it's all a bit of a waste of time. And the main argument seems to be immigration. However, if we vote out, we still need to stay receiving immigrants into our country to be part of the one marketplace. So it all seems a bit pointless. And to really, really hammer that point home, there's a number of people in the UK who don't go to work, don't take the jobs that they should be taking because they get more money by sitting around doing nothing, or are just not prepared to put in hard work. And there's a number of immigrants that come into this country and do that work. So, I'm not convinced immigration is the enemy in some of these arguments. I think we need to sort out our own problems before we deal with who's coming here and who's not coming here. So, that was quite That was quite political. I apologise for that. So that's kind of where I am with the whole in or out thing, and the fact that one day I'll hear, if we vote out, we'll all be better off. We'll have more money. And then the next day I heard, if we vote out, we'll have less money and we'll be in our economy will collapse and all the rest of those things. And I just don't know how they expect normal people without access to all of the information to really make a decision. And it's difficult. It really is. So that's kind of the stuff that's going on with me. That's the channel. That's why I'm doing these videos. So just quickly, I thought normally I touch upon sort of things like the games I've played in the past that made an impact on my life, that sort of stuff, the consoles I used to have, something that's happened from a gaming point of view that really sparked my interest. This week I thought I'd talk about E3. E3 is one of those things that I really like the idea of, but it always disappoints me a little bit. Not the actual show, because the show looks really good. I watched a couple of the speeches, the presentations, Xbox and PlayStation I watched. I've seen bits and pieces since then. Nothing really sparked my interest usually. I guess the biggest thing that came out of it was Battlefield. And actually, interestingly, it feels like it got most of the attention because it looks really nice. And it's a different setting. Out of the Battlefield and Call of Duty games, the one I like the most out of all of them, I'm rubbish at all of them. However, the one I liked the most was World at War. And I'm amazed that they haven't gone back to that setting at any point in time. And this is close to that. So I think that's the reason it sparked my interest and probably a lot of other people's interest. It doesn't look that much different to all other Battlefield games, if I'm really honest. So that's kind of the game that sparked my interest. But what I wanted to say about E3, and I'm not blaming E3 for this. E3 is just a way of getting everybody in the games industry to present their new games and new hardware and all the rest of that stuff. It's always been a little bit of a letdown because those presentations are fantastic. The one I'm going to highlight over the years gone by is Watch Dogs. When I first saw Watch Dogs, I thought, this is mind-blowing. That man can walk around with his mobile phone and he can spy on anyone and everyone. It sparked this huge amount of interest in my head about you could almost. I thought about a series when it first came out, a series of like stalking people, just following people around and digging into their private lives. That was what I thought was going to happen. And when I saw it, you could follow someone down the road and they walk around the road, go around the block, walk back to the same bench they were sitting on before and sit back down. And these are people who've got real lives apparently and go about their day-to-day life, and that disappoints me. It sort of breaks that whole world, and that's what I appreciate that we're in a place where games can't, and machines and hardware can't do that sort of real life stuff. But it sort of breaks the immersion for me, and that's one of the problems. The other day I was playing City Skylines, and that's the same thing. These people have lives, they have jobs, they go to work, they go home to their families, they do this, they do that. I watched a moped drive into my city and 8 people get off it. And it's at that point I thought, you know what? There's 12 people living in a trailer park. And I'm sure that happens in places, but it's not every trailer park and it's not every family. And it's that stuff that agitates me. It's sort of the breaking of the realism that gets to me. And I appreciate some of it is just limitations of hardware and some of it's just laziness. And it is what it is. But back to the point, E3 has always just disappointed me in the games that actually, eventually the ones that you see and you think this is going to be amazing, just kind of break down a little bit. I get the feeling, and I'm basing this purely on my own opinion, that No Man's Sky is going to be something very similar. A game that we saw a couple of years back and everyone went mad for it, and is still going mad for it. I get the feeling that it's just going to be a bit... Last Guardian, another one that's had hype for donkey's years, and then eventually is going to turn up and you'll be like, the game is based on ideas of gaming from 5-6 years ago, and things have moved on, and the reason things have moved on is indie developers, and that is kind of back to a point that I harp on about a lot, is that the only people really driving games forward at this moment in time are indie developers. Hopefully VR is going to do something about that. However, I feel like the VR developers really missed a trick this year round, because this is the first E3 after the VRs have been released, and I didn't really see that much VR related stuff. Great, Fallout's going to be on VR, going to be huge, I'm sure, going to really pull you into that world, and I look forward to that. It's going to be scary, I think. But the other thing that we saw with VR is Resident Evil on the PlayStation 1. That seems huge to me. The biggest thing is that big games developers are going to sink time and effort into developing, is what we found out. But it's too late for this initial release, and this is where hype is built and excitement is built, and that's the problem. All of the games that I see for VR, I've toyed with the idea of getting it. All of the games that I've seen for VR seems to be trials and just testing little tiny bits of technology, and I want to see something big. I want to see a game that's made for VR that pushes boundaries, and I'm not sure we've got to that, or we're going to get to that in the next year, and that makes me feel like maybe we should just hold off on the VR thing until it's there. The other thing is the motion sickness thing. I'm sure I'll suffer from it, which worries me a little bit. So that's kind of my thoughts on E3. I didn't see much that really blew me away. The other thing I just wanted to touch on was Microsoft announcing a new console so quickly after the old console, trying to bracket it under the umbrella of Xbox One, which it feels like it's trying to bridge the gap, and Microsoft are trying to bridge the gap between PC gamers and Xbox gamers, which I think is a good thing. The best thing that I saw come out of out of E3, if I'm really honest, is the Microsoft pushing any game you get on the Xbox, you'll be able to play on the PC. That, I think, is good for the games industry. I think allowing people to do that is good and shows that maybe they're not all bad, but how many people have high-end gaming PCs? And Xbox, the numbers are fairly limited, and the games that get released on Xbox, you'll need both if you want to play it on both. Gears of War will be a fairly high-end game, I have no doubt about that. So you've got to invest in both forms of technology, but it feels like it's the right thing to do. It's been a long time coming, but it just means that, you know what, I can buy a game on Xbox that I might play with my friends who are on Xbox, but I can also play it on PC because it looks better and it plays nicer. They're the good things for me, and that I quite like the look of. So there we go. This has rabbited on for like almost 20 minutes, so I apologise if you've watched all of this. Thank you so much. Last thing I wanted to cover is just around merchandise. That's right, I've got some. Check out the link in the description below for merchandise. It's Spreadshirt. I've ordered some myself just so I can show it to you properly. I plan on doing some live streams, so you might see some product placement while I'm drinking from my ScottDogGaming mug. But go and check that out. It incorporates the new logo, so if you like the new logo, you can get a t-shirt with it on, you can get a mug with it on, you can get a hat with it on, you can get a phone case with it on, you can get all sorts of stuff that you might want or not. But go and check that out if you like the idea of it. Again, thank you all so much for watching the videos, for the subscribing, for getting to this and listening to me babble on for 20 minutes. If you're here next month, then there's clearly something wrong with you. But that's the point of these videos. It's just to give a bit of an insight. Now, I got asked the question, what's that? Some people are bright enough to figure it out. Some people are unsure what it is. But that essentially is my Boba Fett painting on the wall. Some people come round when they come round and are like, what the hell is that thing on your wall? And others come round and are like, that's amazing. But when I've done streams, people have asked, so I thought I'd cover it off in this video more than anything else. So that's kind of where we are. Thank you very much for watching. Please hit the like button, subscribe button if you enjoyed this, so I know that you want to see some more. If you do support on the Patreon channel, thank you so much. It means the world to me. You don't need to do it, and all that money that I get on there, if there is any, I will invest back into the channel. Just very quickly, actually, one of the things I was thinking about doing was buying a new microphone. This has been recorded on this microphone, so let me just quickly show you. I apologise if it makes some noise while I pick it up. This is the Rode NT USB. It's a good mic. It's a very good mic. I've had it for a little while and it does the job very well. However, it picks up noises everywhere. So if I tap the table over here, it kind of picks up everything. I'd like to move down the road of a dynamic microphone, which is very much closer to your face and picking up just the noise that you're making. However, to do that, I need to invest in a mixer and various other things. So that's kind of where I'm thinking about going. Let me know what you think of the sound quality. This hasn't been edited. What I tend to do is touch up the audio before putting it on the video channel. So, generally it's usually a bit clearer than this. But again, thank you very much for watching. I'm rabbiting on again. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. And hopefully I'll see you again next month. Thank you.